Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. This is going to be a collective, time indifferent reading for the sign of Virgo. So whether that is in your chart, in one of your placements, in one of your major threes, or one of the major three, or if that is, if you're here for some kind of cross-watcher reason, for whatever reason you're drawn here, set the intention yourself at this time to receive, for you to receive guidance and clarity. Use your own intuition and your own discernment in receiving any collective reading whatsoever. Use your own intuition to fill in the blanks and to understand and to expand where this message fits into your life, okay? And with that said, let us begin. When relationships that were once or recently over, where they felt like they've run their course, when in actuality they come back around and there's something new, there's some more value to be offered, there's something new, okay? Someone here is experiencing sort of a rebirth or a picking up where you left off. This could be like a friendship or a relationship where there's so much time apart and you've consigned this person, place or thing, which I feel like it's more of a person, to be on the outs of your life. They're no longer here. They're no longer present. They're not it, right? And so you've kind of allowed acceptance of this and moved on. And for many of you, I'm picking up the energy of you kind of coming to this on your own. So it's not even that they forced you to let go and move on, but you yourself took the initiative to move on. You've made a mature choice, right? You challenged someone, and because they weren't able or willing to go where you were ready to go, you were able and willing to let them go. But what happens when that comes back around? What happens when that person has reflected and grown from that process and they're coming back into your life? And now when you ask them the question, what do you bring to the table? Now they know. Now they have a clear understanding. Now they get it. And then not only do they know and do they get it, but they've been developing and cultivating their, I guess you could say, their skills and abilities within relationships. Thank you, Spirit. Whoever this person is, giving Aries energy, so they could be an Aries, and it's the Emperor card in the past, right? And we'll get into these in a second, but it feels like this person considered or assumed that their value in your life was something else, was something that you didn't even give a fuck about. So it's like they might have assumed that their value in your life was how they would do things for you, or that they would, pay for things or contribute financially or whatever it is. But that wasn't as much of what you cared about as much as like the actual presence and bond. And this person, they couldn't help themselves but put walls up. They couldn't help themselves but put you at a distance and not let you in, and then kind of do things that kind of trigger you and make you feel like they're being shady and not being honest with you and not being open, and making you feel like you're the ass because you're just feeling like this separation where, you were under the impression that you guys were coming into a union, right? So then when you kind of point this out, and you've pointed it out many a times before you actually walked away or before you were forced to walk away. And now this person understands the value, and the gift is their ability to nurture a relationship. The pentacles represent earth, right? So in many ways, they're seeing the seed that is the relationship that you guys share. And I feel like it's coming from a very platonic, friendship-based place now. or at least that's where it's starting, right? This person is really considering you and honoring that in order to match to you, in order to really be a true significant partner in your life, they have to come to the table with a little bit more than like a half-assed approach, right? Where it's like, I'm just gonna do just the bare minimum in order to keep you satiated and satisfied, and then I'm gonna move on, or I'm going to go about my life in ways that don't have to change because I'm not allowing you in. It's like, in many ways, you know, as an intuitive, and which I'm sure many of you guys can resonate with, oftentimes you have awarenesses about things that cause people in your life to stay at a distance and put a wall up, because they know, they already know that you have sort of a resolved answer, or the space that you hold for them is one that will allow them solutions of moving forward. But not everybody wants to move forward, and at that time this person didn't want to move forward, but it was the loss of you, the separation of you, it was the destruction of the past, the eruption of the past and all of that passion. And as you guys are going about your paths now, and you cross paths, and you look at him and he's a little different, and he looks at you and you look a little different, regardless of whatever the actual genders are in your situation, it's sort of like the angel of destiny peering over your shoulder and being like, yeah, now you get it. Because if you notice, he's reaching for her. He's got his hand out and he's like, hey, right? Gemini energy. And she's over here kind of a little bit more reserved, a little more, honestly, I guess you could say a little bit tentative, fearful, right? He's reaching for her, she's reaching for him. What's going on in the conscious, Spirit? Thank you. What's going on in the conscious? It's not surprising that a relationship reading is coming up for you, Virgo, or a reading around relationship. Especially given where we've had this retrograde in Venus, and now we're going into Libra, which is ruled by Venus and is a cardinal sign, right? So it's kind of like taking the initiative in your life when it comes to relationships, and honestly the universe also taking initiative to bring in relationships. We have the 8 of Wands in the conscious, so you're definitely focused on forward momentum, forward movement, quick movement, riding the wave kind of energy, riding on your own fumes and your excuse me, your own momentum, your energy, like whatever it is that you're building, you're trying not to stop it in its flow. You're trying to let it completely flow into your life without any kind of resistance. So this is you consciously releasing resistance to what it is that you want. And it's been a rough 8 months. And with the 7 of Swords here, in the unconscious, it feels like you've had to walk this alone. This is like you keeping your plans to yourself, which is a good thing, right? Keeping your plans to yourself, keeping your sort of thoughts and your impressions and your wisdom, keeping it to yourself because the individuals that you've tried to share it with have not been well receiving, right? Well, what happens when you get tired of that experience and you want to share that with someone? What happens when this gets old? What happens when you're tired of holding all these truths and swords? You wish that somebody would hold them with you, where you could have confession. So unconsciously you're seeking confession, right? You're seeking confession of love. Confession of pain. And in the external environment, I definitely feel like there's a lot of sexually charged energy that's getting away from you. And also energies of individuals that are leaving bad taste in your mouth. People that come in with a fire and passion and then just leave instantly without any kind of, I guess you could say, payoff. It's very anticlimactic. It feels like these individuals are coming in. They're coming in with such a strong charge, and they're leaving like ghosts. So it's like they're ghosting, right? So there might be some ghosting going on in your external experience, and some kind of energy around people that come in but disappear, or come in really hot and passionate but then disappear, and it's only kind of physical. In the advice from Spirit is saying stop considering yourself, like there's something about Virgo, like kind of worrying and considering or feeling like they're starting from zero, right? Virgos being very perfectionist in their approach to life and an approach to the things that they desire and want. And what happens when you're being asked to kind of experience and expand into something that's imperfect? And it kind of feels like Virgo wants to start something off new, kind of have a clean slate, but it feels like there are elements of the past, people from the past, individuals from the past that are coming in to bring a sense of peace and completion. Not that closure is necessarily needed, but this feels karmically bound. So it feels like this person is coming in and offering you the contrast in experience to what they've offered you before, where before they lacked in commitment, where now they're not. But do not fool yourselves into making this fit to someone who still is not showing up in the commitment energy. Allow yourself to be honest with yourself about what you're receiving. Whoever this person is, they're coming in and they have no problem taking a reduced position in your life, a less, I guess you could say, central position in your life. They honor the fact that you know what you want, and they constantly celebrate you for all of the ways in which you've inspired them to change. And not only are they talking about it, the proof is in the fucking pudding. Thank you, Spirit. In the fears, we have the Hermit in the reverse. Your fear is that something is going to be revealed about you, Virgo, that is going to make you feel... It's like I'm hearing "bitch don't kill my high." Like you're hoping that you know, whoever comes in, you feel very vulnerable, very raw right now, and it's like you're hoping that nothing is going to stop this momentum, that nothing is going to get in the way and make you feel less than, or like you're not doing well enough. It's like somebody coming in and being like, well, bitch, let me tell you about yourself. And you're afraid that these individuals are going to beat yourself up the way you beat yourself up, but nobody can beat you up the way you beat you up. You're afraid that somebody's going to come in and see all of your imperfections and be like, who do you think you are? When has that ever happened? And why is this coming up now? What do we have in the outcome, Spirit? Thank you. The Magician, alchemy, transformation, having everything that you need. Being kind of provided everything that you need and making magic out of that, having lemons and making lemonade. And this is also very guided, but this is something where, like, you know, you kind of see the hand of the divine in this. You don't kinda, you do. Right? And it kind of feels like you're pulling back your power. You're no longer having this kind of disempowered view of perfection in your life and relationships. You're kind of able to flow. Your intention right now is to flow. And essentially there are very difficult flow without any kind of staccato or any kind of stop or slow down or resistance, right? Not getting in your own way. That's your goal right now, Virgo. And interestingly enough, the universe has concocted an entire situation to pull you out of resistance. A situation where you're being reintroduced to a person who has changed, however, is very triggering to you. Who's triggering you into your survival and making you feel like unprepared for whatever this is. This is not what you planned for, right? I'm hearing Virgo say, this is not what I planned, right? Yeah, of course not. But it's what you called in. And thus, these individuals, or you know, this individual in your life is coming in and challenging you and basically saying, hey, listen, this is changing everything. You thought you had a clean slate, but what happens when we start picking up where we left off and we're that much more in this, right? What happens when this person who I'm feeling likely has freed themselves from some kind of addiction or pattern here and is coming in being more of the man or the woman that you fell in love with, or the person that you saw beneath it all? You know what I mean? And your path of self-love, your path of your journey has allowed you the space to be able to actually receive this nourishment and absorb the nutrients rather than just take it in and hold it, right? You actually have the ability to glean from it what will bring you the sustenance and serve the needs that you have emotionally and romantically and professionally and financially and abundantly. What do we have for Virgo, Holy Spirit? Thank you. I guess the real question is, Virgo, would you like some company at this time? Would you like some company that really fulfills you and feeds your soul and spirit? Are you willing to let go of your perfectionism and your triggering and your desire to protect yourself? Are you willing to allow somebody else to reflect to you rather than you being in your solitary, hermetic space of reflection that is like literally just to yourself, your journal and all your personal things, right? Can you allow somebody else into that process where that person is reflecting back to you and sharing with you their impressions and how they feel? All right, 26, for the wind that blows our sails. This is a time for action. Your obstacles have dissolved. You've integrated that deep work you've been doing, and you're on the other side of a dry spell. How wonderful to have the energy to take the next step. The next steps unencumbered by the past. Ooh, okay, so the next steps unencumbered by the past. Feel that. This is a time of new beginnings, of the excitement that comes with seeing your dreams coming to fruition after challenging work. Others may call you lucky, but you know what work it took to get here. The time of expansion is not one to take lightly or for granted. Smooth sailing is not always offered, especially as you venture into uncharted territory. Now the wind that blows your sails is steady, and you feel the hand of the divine next to yours on the wheel. Stay in touch with that partnership. Stay awake and aware as waves rise up out of nowhere. Have confidence that you are sailing in the perfect direction for you toward a destiny that will flourish. Go the distance. I can go the distance. God bless you, Virgo. I leave you in the divine light of your divine creator. If you'd like to book a session with me or book or order a video reading, that information is on my website, andrewsintuition.com, or you can email me at andrewsintuition@gmail.com if you have any questions or if you'd like a consultation. God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next video.